A very good evening. Welcome to State of Business on our television. I'm Ashinsani Veerasinghe. Let's have a look at the headlines for today. Visiting Australian Home Affairs Minister says no room for human smuggling. Sri Lankan Tourism introduces new budgetary holiday packages for tourists. News in detail. Australian Home Affairs Minister Peter Dutton addressed a media briefing in Colombo today on security and people smuggling upon his two-day official visit to Sri Lanka. It was stated at the media briefing that 20 illegal immigrants travelling from Sri Lanka on a people smuggling boat were caught and returned on the 29th May 2019. Thus, the Australian Minister Peter Dutton spoke about the case in particular, and he spoke extensively about Australian government measures to curb human smuggling.
I'll ask the Major General to provide a bit more detail, and already we've commented publicly on this venture, and we've been very clear that people who seek to come by boat will never come to Australia, and the 20 people who were on that vessel were screened and they were found not to be owed protection, and we worked closely with the authorities here in Sri Lanka for travel documents to be issued for those people to be returned back to Colombo. So that's what's taken place, and Operation Sovereign Borders works in a number of ways. As I say, we have the second most generous intake of people in our refugee and humanitarian program than, as I say, any other country in the world except for Canada. So we're very proud of that. But on the other hand, the other side of the equation, we've been very clear and consistent for a long period of time that people will not come by boat. And our very close working relationship with the Sri Lankan government means that anybody that attempts to come by boat will be rapidly returned back to Sri Lanka, and they'll be without the money that they've paid the people smuggler.
Furthermore, the minister explained on the Australian government's efforts to render assistance to Sri Lanka following the Easter Sunday terror attacks.
And very quickly, we offered support to the Sri Lankan government, worked very closely, particularly through the Australian Federal Police, but through our agencies otherwise, coordinated by the High Commissioner here in Sri Lanka. And I really do pay tribute to the work of the Australian Federal Police. So up to 20 officers in total were able to complement those already on the ground here in Colombo, and we provided assistance in terms of the investigation, in terms of forensic analysis, and providing support in a number of other ways to the Sri Lankan authorities. So that there is a very much embedded in the culture between our two organisations, the Federal Police, our intelligence agencies, etc., with their counterparts here, the desire to help each other wherever possible. And those relationships are long-standing, and I think they've been enhanced in recent months, not only, as you point out, in terms of our relationship with Navy and with Coast Guard and others, but also out of the dreadful circumstances in April and ability to provide support to bring those people to justice, to have a better explanation as to what happened, particularly with that ability and capacity on the forensic side that we can bring to the table, and as I say, a number of other ways in which we've been able to provide support to the Sri Lankans, and we're very proud to have been able to work with the Sri Lankan authorities.
Founder and chairperson of the Women in Management organisation, Dr. Sulochana Sigera, says that a number of recent researchers have highlighted that increasing women's participation in the economy as employees, entrepreneurs and business leaders. Dr. Sigera also pointed out that how the empowered women can be direct partners of the country's economy. She made these remarks addressing a function held in Colombo today to announce about the Top 50 Professional and Career Women Awards 2019 organised by the Women in Management in partnership with the International Finance Corporation, a member of the World Bank Group.
But 30% of women voters are above age of 55 years. So only 20% want to change the real leadership, but that's not enough because there's no awareness. Through the WIM Awards, what we are planning, and right through for the last 9 years, we have brought up personalities who can really make the change in Sri Lanka. Not only on private sector, but from the government sector to the private sector and to the social workers and also entrepreneurs, because the country, Sri Lanka, has two things to be changed. First, the economy empowerment. That can be only done by empowered.
Sri Lanka Tourism introduces a new holiday package for Indian tourists with the direct assistance of the Sri Lankan Airlines. Sri Lanka Tourism has also joined hand with the Sri Lanka Association of Inbound Tour Operators and the Hotels Association of Sri Lanka to launch these promotional packages. Sri Lanka Tourism, with the Sri Lanka Association of Inbound Tour Operators and the Hotels Association of Sri Lanka, jointly introduced 5 new holiday packages for the tourists from India. The packages include a combination of stays ranging from Colombo, Kandy, Nuwara, Dambulla, Sigiriya, down south and several other places. A statement issued by the Sri Lanka Tourism said that the clients are free to select standard, superior or deluxe accommodation to suit their budget, and the offer will be valid for stays from the 10th of June to the end of September this year. Sri Lanka Tourism also said that over 400,000 Indian visitors have arrived in Sri Lanka last year, and the national carrier Sri Lankan Airlines has over 120 flights per week to key Indian cities. In the meantime, Sri Lanka Tourism also plans to launch the campaign in other key source markets including China soon. Stay tuned for more news after this short break. Welcome back after the break. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe, addressing a public event in Jaffna last Sunday, assured that the North and East provinces will receive more development projects. The Prime Minister said that the Kankasanthuree port will be developed with Indian assistance and around 2.5 billion rupees will be spent for the development of the Palali airport. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe participated at the national program to distribute benefits to 600,000 new families, which took place at the Jaffna Municipal Council grounds last Sunday. Addressing the gathering, the Prime Minister said that the steps would be taken to develop a vibrant economic hub around the Kankasanthuree harbour in northern province with Indian assistance. An amount of $45.27 million has been estimated for the 3-year development project. The government has also planned to develop the Palali airport in the Jaffna as an international airport at a cost of 20 billion rupees. The length of the Palali runway is to be expanded to 3,500 meters, and it will have the capability to handle large passenger aircraft such as Airbus A320. The strategically located Palali airport, when developed, will be capable of handling direct flights to the countries like India, Australia, China, Japan, Middle East and several European nations. The Board of Investment of Sri Lanka signed an agreement with Sundara Private Limited on a luxury resort project worth over $4.5 million. The project, known as the Plantation Luxury Villas in Koggala, is considered a strong vote of confidence in Sri Lanka's tourism sector by a foreign investor and a developer recognized for internationally renowned luxury resort projects. The plantation includes 14 exclusive 1- and 2-bedroom pool residences sized from 1,204 to 2,650 square meters, supplied with all the indulgences of a luxury resort. The villas, once completed, can be purchased for private use or placed in the resort rental program for guaranteed 7% per annum returns, and over 50% of the property has already been snapped up by market-savvy investors. The first phase of the plantation's construction is expected to be completed within a period of 18 months, and the property developers Sundara Private Limited is the name behind the Heritage Cafe and Bistro at the UNESCO World Heritage Site Galle Fort. Mahavali Coconut Plantations Limited began trading on Colombo Stock Exchange yesterday, listing 33 million shares at a strike price of 13 rupees a share. Founded in 1996, the Mahavali Coconut Plantations Limited has also entered into the teak plantation in addition to the coconut cultivation. The company's shares, which were listed by way of an equity introduction on the Dirisavi board of the Colombo Stock Exchange, was classified under the plantation sector. Addressing the event, Chairman of CSE, Ray Abewardana, stated that the Mahavali Coconut Plantations is the first agriculture-based coconut plantation to be listed on the Colombo stocks. He also added that the market capitalization was enhanced to about 425 million rupees by the listing of MCPL, and that is also the first listing nearly after 15 months. MCPL Managing Director Felix Fernando Pulle said that the company at present is accountable for an annual crop of around 5 million coconuts, which sold to Sri Lankan companies for manufacture of desiccated coconuts, coconut cream, coconut milk and coconut water solely for export purposes. Let's take a look at some other stories making news. Opposition leader Mahinda Rajapaksa met Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe at Temple Trees yesterday for discussions on how the economic fallout from the Easter Sunday attacks could be best addressed by broadening the support extended to key industries. Temple Trees sources said that the discussion commenced with a presentation by Finance Ministry Secretary Dr. R.H. Samarathunga on the current state of the economy, in which the opposition members raised concerns regarding different sectors. During the discussions, Finance Minister Mangala Samaraweera also pointed out that the government has already put together a proper relief package for the most affected sectors within the economy, but not all sectors will be eligible for the concessions. The United Nations in Sri Lanka, together with Ministry of National Policies and Economic Affairs, launched Unlocked, an innovative and inclusive platform to assist in policy development. Unlocked delivers future change makes the opportunity to speak up, share research and reach out to experts. Unlocked will feature thematic discussions introduced by subject experts and possible solutions for existing challenges. Anyone with an interest in any development-related topics can offer feedback on the issue logging into the www.unlocked.lk. The Sri Lankan Airlines has decided to wet lease an A330-300 aircraft with Oman Air with effect from June. Thus, the A330-300 aircraft has left to Muscat, Oman yesterday. Accordingly, Sri Lankan Airlines had wet leased 3 A330 Airbuses to Pakistan International Airlines in 2016 for the premier service of PIA. The Pakistan International Airlines had paid over $19 million to Sri Lankan authorities for a period of 6 months. We'll be back after a short break. Welcome back after the break. Trading at Colombo Stock Exchange ended on a negative note today. The all-share price index dropped 22.18 points to close at 5,277.32 and the S&P SL20 dropped 12.47 points to close at 2,446.39. The turnover was 184.9 million rupees with 11.6 million share volume. Up next are forex rates. That's all the news for today. Join us tomorrow at the same time. Until then, take care. Good night.